Hello my darlings, it's Chanel, and today we are doing the Scratch TBR, which was included in one of the blind date with the books. So basically it's a scratch and read situation. So I'm going to send you back to past Chanel, who scratched these so she could get everything ready, and then you're going to come back to me. Laugh at me. Don't laugh at your mum. Okay, so past here Chanel, I am going to scratch this off so I can get started. I'm going to see what it says. Oh, it's it's actually a book. I was wondering if it was just genre, but no, this is V Games by Carolyn Peckham. I don't know what that means. I have to go and look that up. Why are you laughing at me?
Are you still filming?
Yeah, I'm still filming.
Oh, shit.
Why is it so funny? Your cackle is going to be on the internet now.
No, stop.
Okay, it's a book. V Games by, like, I didn't even know that was a real title. Carolyn Peckham. It's a YA vampire book with an 18-year-old. It's kind of sounds very Vampire Diaries-ish, so I guess that's the first book I'm picking up. We'll see. Like I said, I'm not going to force myself to finish it if I'm hating it, but I'm going to start it. I'm going to see what the other one is too while I'm here, just in case I don't like it. I can start the next one. What is this? Starlight Mates by G. Bailey. Oh, I look like trash.
Why are you so wheelie?
I know. It's been a long
Are
day.
these just gonna be in the video?
Yes, it's all going in the video.
No, I look like trash going in the video.
Yep. Keeping
Oh.
it real. Okay. Starlight Mates, G. Bailey. This is... This is a Megaverse reverse harem. What? Oh my god. All right, we'll see if my library has this book about alpha shifters. Neither of these sound up my alley, but I'm going to give them a go. It's good to know now that, you know what? I'm going to scratch them all because I've got to see what my library's got. Let's do it. Okay, what do you think's next? We've got a vampire book. We've got Shifters, which is like werewolves. Ash by Leah Stone. What does that sound like? Maybe witch? Ash. Leah Stone. Okay, this is called House of Ash and Shadow by Leah Stone. This one is a fae romantasy. A fae romantasy. Okay, let's see what the last one is. Blackbird Oracle by Deborah Harkness. I feel like I've heard of that. Is that the one that was recently nominated? Like, the other kid is texting me. Blackbird Oracle. Yeah, it was. It's the one that was nominated for the Goodreads Awards, but it's the 5th in the series. So, which is a witch one, witch and vampire. Obviously, I can't read the 5th in the series. Oh, it's from the Discovery of Witches. Oh no. Oh no, I rated that first one a 2 stars. I don't know what to do here. I'm like, well, what do I do here? Is that just a throwaway one? Yeah, I'm just going to have to let that one go. I can't go into the 5th book when, yeah, there's just no way. I'm sorry. If I rated the first book 2 stars and I don't even remember it, what did I say? This was a jumble of genres. It contained every supernatural being under the sun. I didn't get to know any of them despite going into laborious backstories, which was unnecessary. And it managed to turn witches, vamps, and demons into boring people. His love connection with Diana was set up and forced. There was no spark. It's all about reading books, eating, and doing yoga. Okay, this is what we're going to do. Either I'm going to trash this whole video and not do any of it, or I'm going to try Ash by Leah Stone, Starlight Mates by G. Bailey, and V Games by Carolyn Peckham. V's saying trash it all. If you had to pick out of the 3 books that I'm going to read, so we've got fae, like fairies, vampires or werewolves, what do you think I'd like the best? You think I go for the fae one? All right, she thinks, yeah, I like fae the most out of fae, vamp, and werewolves. I'm going to try them. If they're available, I will try them. So then I'll send you back to the future, Marty. Okay, welcome back, welcome back. So you saw that. I'm decided to go ahead with the vlog. Let's just give it a go. If I DNF books, I DNF books. You know, it's not a big deal. So as you saw, a lot of these were just reminiscent of like the 2010s era, you know, where Vampire Diaries was king. And the first one, the V Games by Carolyn Peckham, is definitely giving me the feels of that. So I literally just watched all of the Vampire Diaries again with my 13-year-old. She loved it. Just for those who want to know, I am team Bonnie and Damon, team Stefan and Elena, and team Caroline and Matt. I know that's controversial, but my favorite ship was Bonnie and Damon, especially after they were together in the prison world. They became best friends. I just loved their dynamic and their chemistry. But, you know, I never actually watched the last 2 seasons of Vampire Diaries, so that was a pleasant surprise. I still think Damon should have been the one at the end, if you know what I mean, instead of Stefan, but to each their own. But this book is, yeah, giving me those major feels as even a character named Catherine. The cover is so retro as well. It reminds me of Elena in the Coffin. So you can't not see the parallels, but basically you have a young girl who killed her abusive stepfather and is thrown into prison. So she is all about that inmate life now. And she's with a bunch of other girls, other criminals, other femme fatales, and she's just kind of getting to learn the ropes at the moment. She's it's Bluebell. She's definitely got her guard up, you know, she doesn't want to get shanked. Besides her and her convict lifestyle now, we're introduced to Varric, who is being kept by Van Helsing, named Catherine, who's basically tormenting him. Varric is a vampire, and he's sort of in their servitude, and he's plotting his escape and hopefully his captor's violent deaths. So he's kind of given, is he giving Stefan? Yeah, because it seems like he might have Ripper tendencies. So we'll see. You know, the fact that I just finished TBD is probably in this book's favor. Otherwise, I would say it's not feeling like it's for me. It is very reminiscent of the books that I read as a teenager. The Vampire Diaries being one of the series I read as a teenager, and I love that stuff. And I was, you know, into Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Queen of the Damned. Stuart Townsend did something for me. So I'm gonna continue on. Like I said, I'm probably going to give it a decent shot, and by decent I mean a minimum 150 pages. You know, I'm gonna see how we go. If it's feeling like a 3-star, I will still continue on for this vlog. It's only if it's feeling like less than a 3-star that I will DNF. But basically, what happens is I think our main character Selena is going to end up in some kind of like tournament, fight for the death games, which is basically like a blood sport for the vampires. And I'm assuming she'll end up having a romance with a vampire. You know, she's going to be, Selena is going to be the Elena of this book. Like, guys, it's not a hard stretch to find the parallels, to compare it, you know, to TBD. So we'll see how we go. The other 2 books were obviously Starlight Mates by G. Bailey, which is probably the book I am least interested in. I don't like Omegaverse. I'm not really into shifter romance so much because it's very alpha dominated, like mark you, you're mine. Whereas I know vampires do that a little bit, but I don't know, there's a bit more elegance in the way they do it compared to the shifter stuff. It's just got, like I said, I'm not really into like hyper masculinity. That's the one I'm thinking has the highest possibility of me DNFing it. And then the last one was Ash by Leah Stone, which is the Fae one, and I do like Fae, so that's got the biggest chance of winning. I will give one thing to Starlight Mates though, and that is the cover. The cover is definitely my favorite out of these 3. But so I will continue on with V Games by Carolyn Peckham. Today, V's finally feeling better, so I've had a whole week with them, and this is my last day, and then they're going to the dad's for like 2 nights. So I want to go out and do something. So we're going to go to the National Gallery of Victoria. I probably should ring first and make sure it's open. I tend not to do that. I tend to trust Google too much with opening hours, and it is the 2nd of Jan. So I will ring first because we love to go to the NGV. Most of the exhibits there are free, and they normally do great stuff for kids, and they've got beautiful gardens, and it's right in the CBD by the Yarra, so we normally go for lunch afterwards, and it's just normally just a fun chill day where we just walk around a little bit. Although we won't be doing a lot of walking because I bought as a Christmas present for the girls a treadmill. They've been asking for one. We all have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and that means that it's a connective tissue disorder, and sometimes the connective tissue and the joints give way they give out. I tend to mostly have like rib slippages. That's my main thing. V's mostly got knee and ankle stuff, and knee and ankle stuff is shite because they'll just give way and she'll just collapse, she'll just fall down. And so she wants to walk, but walking out in the neighborhood, if she has an incident and her knee cap slips or her ankle, you know, overextends and rolls, she's stuck. Like, she's injured and she's stuck. So we thought, hey, if there's one in the house, they can get some movement in, and if anything goes wrong, we're at home, you know, the chance of injury is less and they're in a safe space. So bit the bullet, bought a treadmill. My dad helped me assemble it because I did not know what a fishing wire was. And the instruction manual did not make that clear. Basically, for those of you who don't know, fishing wire, there was this long, thin white wire just hanging out of one of the long arms of the treadmill, and basically use that to connect to something and then pull it through to the top. So if you need something threaded through, that's what the fishing wire is for. So you're supposed to, in this case, do the electronics, get the electronics and thread it through all the way to the top. So I wouldn't have figured that out, I don't think. So thanks to my dad for helping me, because also the machine was like 110 kilos and I couldn't have lifted that on my own. Yeah, yesterday, I'm giving it a go too. I do prefer to walk outside, but you know, sometimes the weather is either too hot. We're in summer now. It's always in the high 30s, sometimes into the 40s, or too cold and raining. So that way, if I feel like having a little bit of a walk, because that's the main exercise I do, I have to do gentle stuff. So I used to love martial arts, but yeah, I got too many injuries because I also have like blood clotting issues. So any sort of impact to me can cause some problems. But I mostly, yeah, walk, do yoga, and I do weight training because I have to for bone density and to try and prevent a lot of injury. I'm using it too. I know people read while they're on machines. I can't do anything else while I'm reading. I have to just be 100% keyed into the book. So I don't know how people can move and read. Like, I actually am physically incapable of reading things while I'm walking. So I just am using that time to catch up on booktube and tarotube. But yeah, Indy went on it yesterday and I walked in and she was on an incline of 20 and I'm like, babes, are you climbing Mount Everest? I'm like, take it down. Or she's like, okay. She puts it down to 15. So Indy's the most physical of us. The ADHD is strong with her and she's always moving. We've got a trampoline in our lounge room because she needs to move all the time. But I said to her, remember we're going walking around tomorrow, you might be sore. And she's like, I'm fine. And then she's woken up a bit sore, like as expected. So it's just one of those things. She'll eventually learn what the balance is for her without being too sore the next day. So yeah, it's not going to be, I was hoping to also do like a whole CBD thing with them and go to all these stores, but you've got to read the room, got to check all the spoons. There's, you know, 3 of us with chronic illnesses, and make an assessment. So today, light aside, we will still have some time together, obviously in the holidays, but a lot of that is going to be filled up with V catching up with all her friends who she hasn't been able to see yet. So I don't think there'll be a lot of the 3 of us family days after this week. And also they're going on a family holiday with their dad. So, you know, V's definitely going to want to just hang out with her peers, and that's fine. I can just do dates with Indy solo. But yeah, today, gallery, and then we're finishing our mood board. So a little ritual that we have is New Year's Eve. We have a New Year's Eve questionnaire. And it's just a lot of questions like, what's something you're proud of yourself for this year? What, you know, did you accomplish? What's one of your favorite memories from this year? What was your, you know, hyperfixation food for the year? We just go through and we answer all the questions. We read the previous year's answers to reflect and to see what's changed. And then we give our new answers. And then New Year's Day, a new ritual that I decided to implement was we made vision boards. So we decided to make, you know, mood boards or whatever for how we want our 2025 to go. And it was so interesting to see what we all did and how they differed. V's and mine were very similar aesthetically. Indy's was just the cutest. I won't share what she wrote, but oh my God, I was like, it's so adorbs. One of her goals was to get 10 subscribers on YouTube. She doesn't post on YouTube. She just has an account so she can, you know, watch her drawing videos or whatever. You know, she uses YouTube for a lot of Roblox stuff, I think, for, you know, building houses and the like. But I remember once she commented on one of my tarot videos and a lot of my tarot followers just followed her, and she got a major kick out of that. And she's like, I'd like to get 10. She's at 9. So It's so cute. But my big board, I'm not going to show it because there's a lot of pictures of my kids on there. Obviously they're a big part of my life. So you know, the whole family memories and all that thing. It's mostly pictures of interior design that I love, like spaces that really appealed to me just looking at them, even though I can't live in a space that is my taste. Just looking at them makes me feel like I'm there and I can envision myself in that space, and it's like a sanctuary for my mind. So I've got beautiful design because I do love interior design, and a lot of images of like travel locations, sitting on a balcony overlooking the Côte d'Azur or what have you. Some romantic pictures, so pictures of couples intertwined reading books together mostly. I would love if I ended up finding a partner who liked to read. I've never had a partner who likes to read. I've had 2 partners, okay, so I know, but none of them read. So that would be lovely. But yes, I like pictures of romance and love because I'm such a fucking romantic. More pictures of this bitch, Monica Bellucci, because she's just my queen, and I'm insanely attracted to her, but I also want to be her. Like, she's the epitome of the feminine energy and confidence and allure that I hope to possess. But yeah, besides that, it was a lot of books, a lot of positive affirmations. I just like positive affirmations on there. Lots of pictures of beautiful women reading in gorgeous dresses, because like, you know, that's my ideal life. Read in beautiful locations, in beautiful clothing, surrounded by sumptuous food, by the people I love. What more could you ask for? But I will see you guys when I return, or when I've got some updates to give you on the books that I'm reading. This is a book channel, Chanel. So I'll see you guys then.
And then last second you gave it to me, and then I did. Yes. Okay.
Like naked women. Lasagna, one of my favorite foods. Fries and churros. A lot of interesting books. Hey guys, I'm back. So I'm having a POTS episode, so my ears are blocked. I can't hear myself, but hopefully it's fine. So we went to the NGV. It was very mid. The free exhibits were not great, so we didn't stay along there. And unfortunately, their restaurant, which is lovely, was fully booked. I'm going to sneeze. And so we went to Fed Square and we went and got some food. The food was good, portion sizes were massive. It took forever for them to come out. It was a very noisy environment. It was taxi dining room, so I probably wouldn't recommend if you don't like a lot of noise. And then we went to go to the other NGV, but we were feeling pretty tired, and like I said, I was feeling POTS getting worse. So we quickly stopped down Hosier Lane, which is like a massive graffiti art lane. And then we went to 7-Eleven and we got some treats to try. Before we do the taste test, I'm going to do a taste test. I did read 150 pages of V Games because we were on the tram. So she was given the opportunity to have her prison sentence wiped off. So she got 20 years for murdering her abusive stepfather. Her mum let her take the fall. Even though she did kill her, her mum could have just, said she did it. But she did not. And they said if you compete in these games and you survive, you make it to the end and you survive, you get to go free. So she's doing it. So basically they've got to get to a certain checkpoint every day. So they've got to survive the vampires on the loose. And once they get to the checkpoint, they can have a bath, they can eat food. The main guy vampire gives them his blood so they heal. So, you know, it's just when the game is on. Obviously there's a love thing developing between her and him. I just didn't care. I don't know, it felt like a 2.75. So I'm not going to continue on. It's very basic, you know, it's just, I'm not really into it. So yeah, I will go on to the next book. Are these honey cheese chips? I just want to hear everyone's scoring. So this is what they look like. They look like Cheetos.
This is the exact same something I have before.
It tastes stale. Out of 10, I'm giving these a 3. What about you? They taste like a super stale Cheetos.
7.
7. Okay.
5.
5.
Okay.
All right. Next up,
Your hair's in my food.
we have a violet crumble honeycomb Santa with cream. This Santa's full of cream.
Ew, I'm not eating that.
This reminds me of that book I read recently. All right, you take one of the little pieces of Santa.
Ew.
Look. 3 out of 10. I don't want to
That's not good. I'm stuck at 2 out of 10. I don't like that. Okay, now we have a pumpkin pie cookie. Are you opting out? You don't want to nibble?
I don't want any sweets.
I'm not gonna lie, this looks pretty good. This is the one.
Toffees.
I'm not trying Takis.
Yes, you are.
They're blue.
So?
Alright, fine. I'll try Taki if you take a bite. Indiana, you're gonna take a bite? Okay, so this is what the cookie looks like. And it's got, let me try this one.
I don't know. I can the 3 out of 10.
5. Now, blue, what flavor is this? Blue Heat.
I'm not eating that.
This is like the most unappetizing thing to me. A
I'm not
chili.
eating that. No way.
Okay, I'm just gonna have just a tip.
They have a new flavor of Takis.
Oh my god, I'm allergic. I'm a bit allergic to chili. You like that? That's not food, bro. That's just poison.
It tastes good.
Oh my god, no, it tastes like death. It tastes like an early grave. That's really bad, Ben. Okay, that's a 0. That is a 0 out of 10.
It's a -0.
I'd have to be like almost dying from hunger to even consider putting that in my mouth again. No, I'm going back to the cookie. This was my favorite out of them, and obviously Indy's favorite was these, and Valentine's favorite. What are you rating your Takis?
10.
Okay. Okay guys, I'm back. Okay, all right, let me tell you about the other 2 TBR Scratch books. So we have Starlight Mates, which is a reverse harem wide choose Omegaverse shifter romance. I don't think you could get further out of my wheelhouse and likes than that. Like anything with a harem wide choose Omega is not my cup of tea, but I did give it a solid crack. Let me tell you about it. So basically you have the main FMC who that's the neighbor. We're gonna have to wait that out. That is way too loud. Okay, he keeps stopping and starting, so I'm just gonna assume he's finished. So in this one, she's got a wolf inside, and it's okay. Hopefully, I was gonna say hopefully it's done. We're just gonna go for it because I'm on a time crunch. The kids will have to go to their dad soon. So you have the FMC, and inside she has a wolf, and it's a big bad wolf. It's a very horrible monster. It's a naughty doggy, and absolutely no one is safe if she lets it out. So we're just told repeatedly that she's got a monster inside and she must stay away from everyone and not let anyone get too close to her. So when she finds out that she's been bonded to, was it five men? 2 of them are twin brothers, like, hello, incest. She's like, I must reject the bond. And so she does that. And then she goes on the run. And this book is bad. It's bad. You know it if you read it, okay? I struggled. I struggled so hard. I'm struggling hard right now with that. Please, sir, please finish. So I can move on with my day. As I was saying, she goes on the run and eventually her mates catch up with her and kidnap her back. And it's just everyone was yelling.
I don't know what we're yelling about!
In this book, the dialogue and the pacing was just off. The way it was structured felt so incredibly clumsy, and the writing was very pedestrian. It felt like a Wattpad book, and I thought, I can't read this. I cannot read it. I'm not enjoying a single thing about this book. So I did DNF. I'm very sorry, my dudes. Maybe, I know you probably thought, oh, I wonder what it'd be like if Chanel read a Wide Shoes. Well, it's not going to happen today. That day has not yet come. Not this. Not this. If you think there is a Wide Shoes out there that I would possibly enjoy, let me know, but I highly doubt it. So I went on to the third book, which was House of Ash and Shadow. So this was a Fae one, and you have the main FMC, and she's been cursed to never feel the touch of another. Anytime anybody lays a finger on her, it causes her immense pain. Every touch is a bad touch.
No touching! No touching! No touching!
Her body is Gandalf saying, you shall not pass, until one boy comes along. Oh my God, it turns out he can touch her, and she's like, praise Jesus, I can finally get rid of my V card. I'm going to bang this man because it's the first and only man who's ever been able to touch me and make me feel good, you know. So she's got, her standards are pretty much whoever can touch me shall pass. And she tries to make it happen, but then when the boy finds out about her curse, he gets the ick hard, and it's like, ew, be gone, foul beast, never ever cross my path again. And she's shattered, but she's on a mission. She's on a mission to find out like what's going on. Look, I thought the other book was bad. This one, the writing, Lord Jesus, look, I just think that if this can be published, you can too. I don't understand the publishing industry, what gets printed, what gets rejected. This got printed, and I'm honestly surprised. This is meant to be a fantasy book. The writing was so inconsistent, especially with the vernacular. It's like, lady, choose whether you want this to be modern day slang, colloquial, or if you want it that typical medieval fantasy style. You can't have both. You must decide which it shall be, because it's just, you can't be talking like, I hope I have not offended thee, kind sir, as I am immensely grateful for thine assistance. And then be like, can you believe he did that? That's fucking whack, bro. It's incredibly jarring. The garden man is back. He's the bane of my existence today. But this book just felt incredibly amateur, and I don't take pleasure in saying that, but yeah, it wasn't good writing. Apologies for the jump scare, but the blower man just kept on blowing. But yes, this book just felt silly. It felt silly. And I also DNF'd it, because if I'm going to die one day, I do not want any of these books to be the last books I read. And so, you know, I'm very, very precious with my time. All 3 of these books, to me, feel like the equivalent of fast food. And some people love fast food. I don't. And if I do ever eat fast food, it's only one of 2 things: fries and the vegan McWhopper from Hungry Jack's. But like I said, I'm not a fast food person. It doesn't appeal to me, and therefore I'm hardly ever in the mood for it, and hardly do I ever enjoy it. So I just could not eat these books. I could not devour them. I could not consume any more of them than I did. I really tried, but every single one of them was feeling less than a 2-star. So it's not fair to the author, and it's not fair to me if I was to continue. But I don't want to leave you without a book read in full. So last night I banged out 2 books so that I could talk about something that I completed, that I finished, that I somewhat enjoyed. I do feel like Valentine was right though. I should have just trashed this vlog as soon as I found out what these books were. My hunch was telling me, Chanel, these are not your cup of tea. You're not the right reader for these. And that intuition, that gut, as usual, was bang on. And my daughter was also right. Don't tell her that though. Please don't tell her. Her ego is already big enough as it is. So the other 2 books that I quickly consumed last night for you were Eat the World by Marina Diamandis. So if you're not familiar with her, she is a singer and I love her music. I think it's great. I enjoy it. And her lyrics in her songs are fabulous. So I thought, let's read her poetry. Yeah. I love the mixed media in this. Gorgeous. The poems, not so much. They weren't really to my taste. They were fine. Very, very mediocre. Not anywhere near as clever or deep or interesting as her song lyrics, weirdly enough. I will read one to you. I can't say I really loved any of these. They were, like I said, they were all kind of average to me, which hurts me to say. But I'll read one. Poetry Corner. Here we go. Marie Kondo, whom did change my life. Also, in a way, highly recommend her methods if you want to increase the amount of joy in your life and minimize the amount of clutter you have. Ready? Marie Kondo. I found your old letters. Whilst Marie Kondoing my house, and a veil of doom descended over me. They did not spark joy. Paperweights lowered themselves carefully into my heart. Opening Pandora's box seemed pointless, but I did it anyway, and read the story of us. What I learned is that you are neither devil nor angel, hell nor heaven, careless nor careful. Poisoned arrows shot years ago now seemed comedic, as if they were thrown by tiny laughing cupids. I still look for ways to fill up the old wound, too deep to heal fully, too small for ICU. I guess I always thought you didn't love me enough. I never considered you might love me too much. I would say if you're a diehard fan, maybe give it a go. Otherwise, if not, probably would not recommend. Would though highly recommend giving her music a listen. Might be something worth your time. So yeah, unfortunately, this was probably like a 3-star poetry book for me, but I picked another book up. I thought, let's pick up something similar to the 3 books that I DNF'd for this reading vlog, and that I possibly might have a high chance of enjoying. So I picked up the book Ensorcelled. This is the 3rd book in the Chronicles of Lucitopia series by Josephine Angeline. The first 2 books were highly rated. I think the second one, Tinker's Daughter, I rated 5 stars. I think the first was 4.5. This world is basically a LARPer's dream. So you have humans who, for one reason or another, make deals to go into this story, Lucitopia, and live as one of the characters. So they get to become a dragon knight, a princess, a sorcerer, whatever it is. And things don't always go to plan. They all read the books believing that they've fully armed themselves with knowledge, that they're going to absolutely game the shit out of this experience. But when they're dropped in there, it turns out the books have gone a different direction. It's not the same as when they read it. And they all have a task they must complete before a certain point or something bad will happen to them. In this one, the main character is Ramsey, and he's a mage. He's had some hard knocks in his previous life, and he came into this world hoping to become a powerful sorcerer. He ends up becoming apprentice to the evil sorcerer, the most dastardly villain, Asphodel. And he finds out he hasn't got what it takes to rise to that greatness, i.e., slaughtering thousands of innocent civilians, including baby fairies, little baby fairies. He doesn't want to do it. The price for power, turns out, is too high for Ramsey. But then one day, whilst Ramsey's punishing his apprentice for refusing to participate in said baby fairy killings, Bebefera Cullings. Whilst in the dungeon, he befriends an ogre who has been imprisoned in an Iron Maiden, and then the Elf Queen. It turns out that Asphodel needs the Elf Queen's blood to find himself, and she walks in, and it's love at first sight for Ramsay. He is absolutely besotted and flips like a bitch. He's like, fuck Asphodel, I'm now team Elf Queen, and he tries to rescue her and become a savior, become a knight in shining armor, basically. I won't give anything more away. I still enjoyed this book. I gave it 3.5. It was a 3.25 until the epilogue, which was in Asphodel's point of view, and that bumped it up to a 3.5 instantly. This was my least favorite installment because Ramsay just didn't have enough charisma and presence to carry the whole book. He was an okay guy, very average Joe, but something was off about this one. I don't know if it felt rushed. It just didn't have the same feel as the first two books. Will I be continuing with the Force? Fuck yes. Fuck yes. Oh my God, this is what I've been living for. This is the culmination of everything in this series. So as I previously mentioned, Asphodel is the evil sorcerer. Asphodel is giving mad Loki vibes. I kind of picture him as this, and I mean would. And I live for a villain redemption arc, and I smell it coming. I smelt it coming from the first book. I thought, I know he's doing horrible things, but I think Baby Boo can be saved. I think I can fix him. I was giving that kind of vibe, but also maybe it's not his fault, maybe he was written this way and he doesn't want his story to continue this way. Like, he knows he's good inside. He just needs someone to help bring it out of him. And in the fourth one, I think that's what we're going to get. So the premise of the fourth book is there is an assassin, a sexy lady killer, who the next target is Asphodel. And so it's that typical cliche enemies to lovers. And I can't wait for it. I am salivating, chomping at the bit. So I will absolutely go on, and I think that one is 5-star potential all the way. This one, the best part of Ensorcelled was the sassy Phoenix mummy. She was fantastic, loved her. Also was delighted by horny stick daddy king man, who is the father of the elf princess. He was a delight, and hearing about him and his orgies and his dirty ways was very entertaining. So I know this vlog did not go to plan. It just veered way off course. Like I said, I can't force myself anymore. I will not force myself. I'm sorry that I didn't read any of the books that were actually on the Scratch TBR. I think if you know me, you probably predicted that. But I did read 2 books for you guys and give you some reviews. I think I'd say, like, if you're into LARPing and just good old-fashioned magical adventures, a little bit reminiscent of The Princess Bride because they're kind of comical. Oh, I will say Ensorcelled, this particular book, was very reminiscent of Dreadful. So if you like that, you actually might enjoy this one, even though it was my least favorite of the series. But it's a fun, I don't want to say it was lighthearted because there's a massive amount of torturing and death in this, but it's just, I don't know, it doesn't feel dark or heavy or dense. It's just, it's a fun time for me. And I've never done LARPing. I don't think it's massive in Australia. We don't really have, do we have Ren fairs here? I don't think so. If I'm wrong, someone please educate me. But I know, something maybe I would consider. What would I be? I think we all want to believe we're elite warrior elves, okay? But I think my skills and my stature and my abilities are more akin to a hobbit. I think I can kill the 11sies and the hiding in my hobbit hole, reading books and making cheese boards. That's up my alley. And going on the quests, not so much. I'm a stay-at-home hobbit. But I'm just going off track. I'm very sleep deprived for some reason. The insomnia is hitting hard. I think maybe once the kids are gone, I'll be able to rest up and recharge my noggin. Oh, I also want to thank my mum for this top because she got it for me for Christmas, and that's why I'm wearing it today. Would I do the Scratch TBRs again? No, I'm sorry. Unless it was by a person who knows my taste well, like Kate. I think that's the only person in my real life that could even guess what I might like to read. But that's because I know very few people in the real world. I just don't know many people.
Mom,
Oh, yes, darling.
I was about to text you that you failed to wake me up, and then I saw that the classes are us. Is it okay if I send the shot?
Okay, I've got to go. Valentine needs to find out. V needs to find out what her class is
I
next
got
year.
Isla.
You already know.
I got
Okay,
Isla.
all right, we've got to go. Until next time, stay wild, Star Child.